Hi, today we're going to look at a topic called reverse percentages. Now, we need to do well in this, we need some prior knowledge, and it's all to do with percentage multipliers. So, for example, if I asked you to increase a value, let's just call it x, it doesn't matter what it is, it could be 80, 120, doesn't matter, by say 20%, you could find 20% and then add it on. That takes a long time. If you times something by 1, it stays the same. Anything more than 1, it gets bigger. And we want it to get bigger. We want it to get bigger by 20%. So actually, what we can do is times by 1.20. I put 20. That's pretty naff, isn't it? Let's put that. That's going to make it bigger. The reason why, if we add in on 20%, well, we're starting off with 100%. Plus 20%, we've got 120%. Percent means over 100, and 120 divided by 100 is 1.2. It's as simple as that. If I changed it to be, let's just get rid of that, increase by, say, 7%, it's not 1.7 because that'd be 70%, it's 1.07. And remember, 107% divided by 100 is 1.07. If I wanted it to be something a little bit more complex, say 3.12%, I would just times it by 1 point. Now, what I do is ignore this bit for a minute. Just if it was 3%, it would be that, yeah? Then just pop the 1 and the 2. And that will increase something using percentage multipliers. Decrease is a bit harder because we want it to go down. So if we times by 1, it stays the same. Less than 1, it goes down. So if we actually times it by 0.1, this is a common misconception. We're actually finding out 10%, but we want to find out what 90% is. 100% take away 10% is 90%. Okay, let's try another. If I said 12%, I'd be times in by 0.88. That's it. Okay. Now, percentages is all about confidence. So what we have here is a fact, and I need you to tell me some other facts. So maybe pause the video now and then come up with some other facts that you can tell me, some easy ones, maybe some hard ones. Just spend a couple of minutes on it. I need a calculator. Now, the facts that, let's talk about some easy ones, okay? So let's talk about 1%. Now, 1% is really important to find. Now, you can see here, to do that, we're just going to divide by 32. And because it's an equation, you've got an equals, this has to stay in proportion, so we're going to do exactly the same there. So if I do that, I get 180 divided by 32, and that gives me 45 over 8, or 5.625. So then I can find another useful fact, which would be 100%. So I can just times that by 100, and I'm going to write it as a decimal this time, £562.50. If it's money, always remember to put the 0 on the end. It's the only time we do, but it's money, and that's important that happens. Okay, now I didn't go into any others because this is what's important. For reverse percentages, it's all about finding 100%. So here's something else we could do, which actually we're just going to skip over that. It's not that important. So a hockey stick is 30% off in the sale. The sale price is £84. What is the original price of, sorry about that, that's meant to be an O, of the hockey stick? So this is a reverse percentage, and we can always identify that is when we're trying to find the original price. Now, the common error that people do, they go, oh yeah, I've got this, right, I just need to pop 30% back on, so they do this. 84 times 1.3, that is definitely wrong. And I'll show you, in fact, let's type that in, let's work it out, and we get £109 and 20 pence. Cheap hockey stick, really, for this day and age, right? Even before the sale. So let's put it up there because it's so rubbish. Now, what is £84? £84 has 30% off. So £84 actually represents 70% of the price. What is the original? Well, the original is 100%. Now, there's lots of other methods. You know, you could watch other people's videos and they'll tell you different methods and little multipliers, and instead of multiplying they divide. I think that's so confusing. I always find 1%. So easy, divide by 70. So we have to do that on this side. It has a name. I think it's called the unitary method, but I just call it the find 1% method. So 84 divided by 70, you get 1.2. And we can see that if we times that by 100, we get £120. It's quite different, hey? Now, you should always get these right because you can check your answer. So all you have to do is take off 30%. Let's go back to this one. So £109 and 20 pence. If I take off 30%, so I times by 0.7, yeah, to find 70%, you do not get, it does not equal 84. If you do the same with this one, 120 times 0.7, you get 84. So you should always check. Don't, the amount of people that write a rubbish answer like this and don't check, it's shocking. Let's have a look at another one. On a grueling CCF training session, only 28 youngsters survived the whole day. That was only 35% of the group, obviously not Church's college students. So 35% of the group represents 28. How large was the original group? So there's the hint. Oh, this is reverse percentages. So we need to find what 100% is. To do that, we're going to find 1%. So 1%, we're going to divide both sides by 35. Let's work this out quickly. 28 divided by 35 is 0.8. So you can see there were 80 pupils on the grueling CCF training session. So any hint of original, you find it's a reverse percentage, find 1 and then turn it into 100. That's it. So time to get practicing.